Your small, goblinoid hands make contact with the smooth glass orb. As it rolled across the stone floor of the crypt, barreling through shattered bone and debris, your eyes had gone white. The energies that had been unleashed from the artifact in front of you have arced out of the stone coffin and danced upon your skin, filling this dark, dismal crypt with light. Everything around you slows to a crawl, and the cool touch of the glass orb intensifies your connection to everything around you. It feels right, like it was part of you that was missing, something forgotten, and now it's here with you, and the two are joined into one. And the spark of magic that is created in that moment rises through you, illuminates the darkness around you, blinding your companions. And causing time to stop. When the flash subsides, Dottle, you are sitting on a wooden bench. There is the rock of waves. You are on a ship. It is not a ship that you recognize. You look about and you see a threadbare cabin. Immediately, you smell rot and filth, sickness. And your body is not your own. You look at your hands, and they are delicate, feminine. Long, nimble fingers that have been painted black and adorned with small gems that have been inset into the nail. Your skin, while pale, has been intricately tattooed. It works its way across your hands and up your arms, and you are wearing red robes. Your other hand is intertwined with another. Caramel-colored skin with similar tattoos. The nails painted white with similar gemstones set upon them. And you look to your right, to the owner of that hand, and you see a beautiful but troubled face. The woman that looks at you has love in her eyes. And you can see the tattoos that work their way all the way up to her face, on her neck. She is also wearing red robes. The language that she speaks, you instinctively know, is the language of Thay. Mari, my love, why are you so troubled? And you see the hand reach up and stroke the side of your face, pushing the hood back. You have shoulder-length hair. It is coarse and unkempt. Looking at your appearance, you know that you have not had an easy life recently. You feel the pit of hunger in your stomach. From your mouth, Thea, was just the beginning. We are no longer slaves, but I do not know if we can truly escape them. We did take from Zastam, and it is not a slight that will ever be forgiven. The Council will find us, no matter where we go in the realms. This sea of swords cannot build a wall that they cannot climb over. I worry, Anise. I worry for us, but most of all, I fear for you, my love. And two women pull each other together, holding each other. And Doddle, your consciousness slips away from this figure. And as if a spirit in the air, you leave the cabin that they are holed up together in, and you float outwards through the door, through the slick and rotting boards of this filthy ship, out on to the deck, where you see many of the sailors working their trade, pulling ropes and hoisting sails, gathering together to try and maintain themselves on a rocky sea. And then you move away from the sea and into the sky. And there are storm clouds forming, lightning that strikes around it. And you sense a presence watching the ship. A powerful presence. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw, Doddle.
Oh, that's a natural one.
I need you to roll one more time, please, Doddle, to see if you get a second natural one.
Very close, but no.
Something sees you, senses you, knows your presence, and grabs onto your spirit. In that moment, memories begin flashing through your mind. You know many things that Mari knew. Memories of Thay, of a grand city ruled by wizards, all clad in red. It is foreign from the lands that you understand here on the Sword Coast. The weather is more unforgiving. There is hot desert air that swirls about it. And somewhere in these echoes of memory that you do not own, you know that these women had stolen something of great importance from them, the wizards that ruled that place. From their tattoos and their garb, you know that they themselves were once lower caste red wizards, but that it was a harsh and unforgiving life. And this presence that has wrapped itself around you echoes like the crypt that you know your true form is still held within. It reeks of undeath, and something is prying through your mind, and you realize that you are surrendering this woman's memories as you were unaware of the attack. Make a second wisdom saving throw, please.
17.
The moment shatters around you. The storm clouds explode with lightning. And now you are standing before a building. A tall, well-appointed temple. It is a shrine and place of worship for the followers of Lathander, the Dawn Lord. And you are once again not within your body. In your burnt hand, you have a torch, and you are stepping closer to the temple. You are looking through spectacles.
Do I recognize the hands?
You are Maglo. Your boots take their first steps closer to this temple, and tears are running down your face. And you feel anger, rage, resentment. But most of all, Dottle, you feel loss. And the torch in your hand flickers and burns, and the energy of it works its way through the scars that are massed across your forearm. Make a wisdom saving throw.
$23.
Matt, I would like for you to continue this.
Maglo is walking with a few other people who you don't recognize. They stop at the stairs. Anyway, it's time for you to come out now. Your reign on this town has ended long ago.
A strong masculine hand lovingly grabs onto his shoulder. My love, allow me. Come out! The fire.
Drag him out here.
The fire flickers, and you feel rage, Dottle, as the scene dissolves around you, and the last thing that you see are, you don't see the face in the flicker of the fire, but you see these eyes. Someone that Maglo once knew. And it all disappears around you. And you're in the dark. And water is dripping. And you smell the growth of the dark underground places, the deep caverns of the world. And there is a glow that washes across you. It is a faint purple light that is cast from crystal and fungus that illuminates this place with a pale, cool wash of color. Your eyes do not work the way that you are used to them now working. Even when you were elven, you had keen senses, and everything now feels even more muffled. And you are sheathed in armor and lying on the ground, pulling yourself up from a pool of blood. There are ghostly echoes around you, and you are starving. You feel horrid hunger, and something is in the chamber just in front of you. You hear Water? What do you do, Dottle?
Maybe chub and feel my face and try and look at my hair. I'm Hawk, aren't I?
You realize that you are now Hawk.
Yeah, you said I sensed something in another chamber?
Yes, there is
I'm gonna
sound.
run.
You stand and run. You stand and you realize that you are dying. You are starving and you have been wounded grievously. And you feel cuts and slashes and burns and a horrid emptiness within you. You don't know what magical affliction has undertaken you, but you are barely able to move, let alone run. So you stumble forward, your armor clattering, your sword dragging behind you as you push your way into this chamber, and in front of you is a large, thick rent in the ground, like a crater, as if the earth itself had exploded outward. And within it is a thick, clear, viscous fluid. In that fluid is an enormous fleshy brain. A mound of flesh that looks like terror itself. And you feel a rise of fresh fear across you, and you realize that it's not just Hawk's, it's also your own. Your body is racked with hunger and emptiness, and you're unsure of the magical affliction that is quickly siphoning away your strength, but you manage to push forward. You are not running, you are stumbling, and your armor feels like chains pulling you closer to the ground. Your sword is still in your hand, and it is dragging forward. This is not the armor that you know Hawk to wear. It is much nicer, more refined and polished, though now it is covered in filth and blood. It has been dented and rent, but you see the sigil of Lathander upon its pauldron, and there is a holy symbol hanging from your side as you, Dottle, stumble into the main chamber. And there in front of you, in that space, in the enormous rent in the ground that, like a crater, explodes outward from this dark, jagged cavern, is a glowing, iridescent, and fully unnatural pool of viscous fluid. It swirls with a life of its own, and you can see small figures, creatures swimming within its depth, swarming in mass. Tiny little worm-like creatures that move through this substance. However, the terror that rises in your chest is caused by the enormous fleshy mass in the center of this pool. It is formless, but it does have a similarity. Through your studies of anatomy, it looks to be an enormous brain suspended within a pool of glowing pink-purple fluid. And it breathes and undulates, and these small tentacles writhe across its surface and this sense of malevolence radiates off of it, and it's as if the air is thick in this almost palpable hatred for all things. It is alien and confusing, and you feel groggy and exposed. Make a wisdom saving throw.
22.
Hawk, you look down to your right and you don't know what's happening. Your head, those moments of fog, the deep places of the Underdark, you're remembering this for the first time. And to your right, Kara's body lies in a pool of blood. There are other bodies here that are tethered to the wall with a strange mucus. They have been cocooned here and are being held. Kara, however, is on the ground. What do you do, Hawk?
I fall to my knees next to Kara and just start to cradle her.
You grab Kara and her head lolls towards you, and you see the bite marks from the Illithid, and she has lost so much blood. But her chest is faintly moving up and down, and there is a slight, ragged breath coming out of her mouth as her eyes fight to focus upon your face.
Hey, it's all right. Hey, I'm here, you little nerd. It's okay. Just keep looking at me, all right? Does Hawk have any of his healing abilities, like his lay on hands or Asimir healing, available to him?
Do you reach out to Lathander?
I, with all of my heart, reach out to the sun god. Please, take me. Just don't take her.
Make a wisdom saving throw.
It's a 14.
Something in this chamber is dulling your senses. Something in this chamber is watching with the closest thing to glee that it is capable of. Something is on the very edge of your mind, like a spectator, delighting in the torture of this moment. Momo, what is Kara's last word to Hawk?
She doesn't say anything, she just kisses him.
And as the moment resolves, you think somewhere in this chamber you sense the fury of this beast, this alien presence, as this tender moment has offended it. And the two young followers of Lathander embrace each other in the dark caverns, in the empty places of the world, deep below Faerun in the Underdark. Dottle, the moment ends, and there is a shudder. And you're on the ground, and you feel a hot flush of blood on your hand and on your face as something burns horribly. And you are lying in the ship known as the Kraken's Kiss. There are stacks of treasure chests lining the walls, and trinkets and gold hung from the ceiling boards, and every imaginable gem and treasure neatly organized in cabinets and cupboards around you. There are scrolls and tomes, books, ancient lore that have been gathered and placed upon those shelves, not for the worth of knowledge, but for the glory of their value. Everything here is a tally of wealth held by a very greedy and jealous creature. You realize that you are now Calder, and the hot flush of blood has come from the claws of the creature standing in front of you. Standing upright like a human, dressed in fine garb, a coat, pants, and dangerously well-polished boots. The captain of this vessel turns to look at you, and the illusion that has protected their true identity from the rest of the crew has been dropped. You see hungry yellow eyes, a snarling face. This creature looks more like a tiger than a man. And his hands are backwards. And from one of those clawed hands, blood slowly drips onto the floor in front of you.
It's unfortunate that it has come to this, Squig. Your brother and you, I've enjoyed your company. Now, however, I am afraid you'll be walking the plank. And won't it be sweet when your brother's the one to shove you off?
The moment shudders, and you're standing on the edge of the ship, looking down at the water, and you feel a rapier pointed to your back. Your hands and feet have been tied. And you turn to see the face of someone who looks very much like you. The last of your family, the last person in Abir Terrell that holds any blood to you. And then you plunge into the deep. And you are drowning. Your lungs burn, and salt burns, and all of the waves around you pull and suck you below to the depths of the locker that awaits. And you feel the life leaving you. Then there's a swirl of something. And as you lose consciousness, you feel hands and someone presses lips up against yours, and a rush of air pushes into your lungs, and you have been saved. But you pass out from exhaustion and fear, and as you do, Doddle, you're sitting in a grove surrounded by stones, and the stones are glowing with green light. There are runic writings upon them that you do not understand, but you know. And the energy that was crackling about when you had grabbed onto the orb now fills this space, and you feel a wavering. Juniper, the dagger is in your hand, the stone has been wetted with your blood, and the prayers have been said, and the Oaken Lord, your father, the all-seeing arm of nature, has gifted you with another vision. Before you is a flickering form. It changes. It has not one shape, but many. Complete your prayer, Juniper.
With what I have given you here, a piece of me, I hope that you will show me the complete vision that I should see. Show me what I'm supposed to do now. Guide me, dearest Oak Father.
Doddle, it's June. Younger, but it's June. What do you say?
Where am I in relation to her? Am I in June's body, or am I in
No.
the grove with her?
You're in the grove in front of her. It seems as if she's praying to you. There is a altar in front of you made of stone, and it has been smeared with blood, and there are herbs burning and heavy smoke, and you are the spirit that seems to be trapped that June is communicating with. And when you speak, it is not the voice of the goblin. It is the voice of the elf. What do you say?
I'm gonna run up to her and I'm just gonna hug her. I'm gonna say, June, I know you look younger and you might not know me, but I just, in this moment, I miss you.
Oak Father?
No, I don't think so.
There's a shudder, and June, you feel a presence. It leaves a mark upon your heart, and then it dissipates, and you are alone in the grove. Doddle, your jaw hurts. You've just been punched. You're lying on the floor of a tavern, and it smells like vomit. You're not sure if it's yours or someone else's, but there's discordant music and drumming in the background as a very large-looking dwarf is standing right next to you, shaved head, cracking their knuckles above you.
All right, smartass, go ahead and get up. I have another swing for you.
Illyri, your candor has put you into another situation. You're fresh off the docks, and you are looking for new work, as it seems the mess that happened with the Siren's Call hasn't been forgotten. Maybe you had a few too many drinks, but This dwarf certainly had it coming. What do you do?
You're not gonna get the best of me today. Leap forward, and just go to grapple this person.
Okay, roll your athletics, please.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you absolutely clobber this dwarf. So tell me how you did that.
I'm on the ground.
You were on the ground, yes, and he was standing above you, cracking his knuckles. He's got a patchy beard and a bare chest that's covered in sailor tattoos. You're lying in a pool of vomit right now, and your jaw just hurts from the punch that he's delivered just a moment before.
I stagger to my feet, and leaning up against a chair or a stool or maybe somebody, brush it off a little bit, and I just go right in for it, just swinging my arm right into his face.
And you punch him, and there is this resounding crack as his neck flies backward, and the dwarf lifts off the ground. And everybody gasps because you are slight of form, and everyone expected you to be absolutely murdered in this moment. But after that first punch, you have stood up and you have cleaned the clock of this dwarven sailor. And he flies upward and smashes into a table, which shatters underneath him, and tankards fall everywhere. And a bar fight immediately ensues, and everyone is throwing punches at each other and shouting, and there is screaming, and the bartender is shouting, trying to gain some sort of control over the mess that you've caused. And you slowly slip out the back door. And as you do, you feel a hand on your shoulder. A cloaked figure in black leather. We understand that you are looking for work and that you hold a certain skill set.
Yeah, it took you long enough to get here. I got what you need. I got what you want. Put me to the task.
While there'll be plenty of time for you to traffic in the lower forms of criminality, my employer has been seeking more specialized talents.
Listen, you name the price and I can do it.
You'll be joining me and a few others as we liberate a few things of importance. There has been movement here in the dock ward, and the Grasping Eye seeks greater power. The figure then makes a hand signal, which looks like a clawed hand. And in the center of it, you see a little spark of magic emerge as their two tattoos form a full eye across the palms as the hands are splayed outward. This was the symbol that you were told to wait for. The figure smiles as they pull back their hood, and you see the pale, faint, almost translucent skin of a drow. Their dark black eyes size you up. If you do well in this task, I promise you will be rewarded richly. Another flash, and a moment later, Dottle, and you feel hot gushes of blood shooting from your neck as you're on your knees, and you see this drow laughing above you as the life leaves your body. You are choking on your own blood, but the moment quickly resolves itself and dissipates. And then there's just darkness. You're standing in the palace on Teowin, on the Isle of Evermeet. But it's not the Teowin that you know. It is the shadow Teowin that you have discovered. And there is a cold emptiness here. No sign of life. Only the chill of the air as it moves around you. Sitting, cross-legged and meditating, is a shadowed figure, standing under a large, sprawling, dead tree that you don't recognize. What do you do, Dottle?
I get closer.
The figure lifts their head and looks directly at you. And Saray's eyes meet yours. Saray, you see a wispy remembrance. It is goblinoid, but smeared and hard to focus upon. You think it's Dottle. The last thing that you remember was her death. Dottle, you realize that Saray, even though she is elven, carries an age upon her, and her garb is different. This isn't the past. Dottle, you're looking at the future.
Does that mean that the Teowin around me, is this also the future? Does this feel real? Does it feel like I'm in some kind of dreamscape, or is this really what's going to happen to Teowin?
Saray, what do you say when you see her approach?
I know that this is Teowin. Do I see the same around me as Dottle does, or am I just like in shadow?
You know this place like the back of your hand. You've
Okay.
lived here for over 200 years.
Got it. Okay. Okay. Interesting.
Her mouth opens as if to speak, and the words begin breaking, and you can't understand them, as if the magic that is holding you here is beginning to fail and pull apart. I want you, Saray, to give Dottle 2 words, and they cannot be conjoined. They need to be separated in a sentence somewhere. What 2 words do you wish to convey to this past Dottle?
learn
something is close and closing into all of you, and Soray's mouth opens and her eyes are sheets of dark sky that match the sky around you. It is as if Soray has blended in with this place, and there is a grayness to everything that she touches. The environment around you shifts. Learn was one word. What was the other?
truth.
Truth echoes. And as the word truth shatters this space and breaks it apart, you hear as a flock of raven overhead blot out the sky. Everything goes dark. And Dottle, you're now on the streets of Waterdeep. You're holding your lover in your arms. The red robes are no longer red, but black with filth. Wagon wheels creak in front of you. And you and your lover descend beneath ground, desperate to escape. Those who would see you dead, those who have followed you here, they are powerful and they have hired thugs to kill you. Rough individuals from the dock wards. And they have been chasing you for days. And the two hands grasp each other, the only possessions that they still have. The pair of rings. Their wedding bands. Each upon the second finger of their hands. Those gold bands could have fed them for days, but they never relinquished them. They did not sell them, as they are sacred to them. And as the Red Wizards retreat deeper into the dark places underneath Waterdeep, fearing for their lives, we still have friends, and I know they will see, no matter what happens, that we are at peace, and that the secrets that we hold are guarded forever. I've reached out to the Harpers, and they have agreed. They will assist us. We just have to survive long enough. They have resources, they have money that can help us. Anise then speaks. The stain of Thay, that curse, will never wash off. And you and I, my love, no matter how intense we love each other, are cursed. The secrets of the Netherese are cursed. We never should have delved that far. And we deserve what we get, but I love you. And in that darkened tunnel, the two women embrace as there is a shudder one last time. Doddle, make a wisdom saving throw.
$18.
There is a moment it is brief and fleeting. You open your eyes one last time, and you realize that you are not within your own body. And you are in the sky, flying high above the lands of Abir Terrell, free. And then it ends. I need everyone to roll initiative, please.
Three.
That's a natural one.
No, what? Four.
14.
D&D, yeah.
No.
This is not a nat one, boss.
Mhm.
Who got a natural? Who got a natural one?
I did.
All right.
My
Hawk is on a
Yeah.
natural one. Roll it again to see if you get another.
Here we go. Fingers crossed. It's
Natural
of course.
20. All right. So,
Of course.
Saray, what did you get?
I got a 9.
Okay. And
D&D Beyond. Sorry. Friggin' Roll20 is going into dice jail.
I don't think there's a dice jail big enough.
I think there should be a special dice jail button in Roll20. Can we
Yes.
ask Roll20 to develop this? A digital
Roll20,
dice
if
jail?
you're listening to our stream, digital dice jails.
All right. Calder is going on a 13.
Magla's going on a 15.
All right. Maglo is going to be going on a 15. And Juniper, when are you going?
Yeah, 4.
4. All right.
Yeah.
4 for June. Doddle?
I was 14 for initiative, right?
Is that what you rolled?
Yeah.
All right. So we got a 14. We got a lot of low numbers here. That's interesting. Okay. Let's start up here at the top. Maglo. When the flash resolves itself, for you it has been a split moment, and the figure of Doddle is in front of you. She is off the ground, floating slightly above it as this energy arcs off of her, and then the orb with the goldfish inside of it that she's holding on to propels out of her hand. And I need to know exactly who is in front of Doddle in this moment. So I'm going to move us over to our battle mat so that we can get a positional view of this, okay? So luckily, oh no. Okay, so it is you, Maglo. If you look at the map, you and Saray are directly in front of where Doddle is. The orb shoots directly out and catapults towards the two of you. I need Saray and Maglo to make a dexterity saving throw. If you would like to attempt to catch the orb, you may do so, but there will be consequences.
Oh, okay.
Is it like flying to the ground or flying out, like in a?
It's
like it's trying to get out.
It's flying out as if it were a magnet. I'll give this to you in Maglo speak. It is as if two opposite poles of a magnet were forced together and then forcibly repelled each other.
He is. Yeah, he'd try and grab it, make sure it doesn't. I mean, if they're going away from each other, yeah, if they're being. No. Could I forego my save to try and make sure that Saray doesn't fall into the water and is safer since she is his patient at the minute?
Yes.
I'd like to do that. Essentially, forego it to give her help.
So what I'm going to say is that you roll Saray out of the way, and that is your action. Saray, you no longer have to make a dexterity saving throw. However, how did you do? You didn't get a natural one?
No, I got a 12.
Yeah, that's fine. So you are out of the way, and then Maglo, you are going to be hit with the orb. And as you do so, you kind of pull Saray out of the way, and the force of this glass orb, it should shatter. But you know better. This orb is magically enchanted, and it is as if you have been hit with a cannonball. And you feel your whole body pushed forward, and there's a cracking of bone. I'm going to go ahead and roll 8 points of blunt, smashing, crushing damage. I do need you to make a Constitution saving throw, or you're going to be out of breath for a round.
22.
22, you're fine. So you do get knocked to the ground, and in fact, your body kind of has cushioned the orb as it rolls down to the ground now, and it prevented it from hitting a wall, which may or may not have been bad. You don't know. And it is rolled right next to you, Saray, and you see, as you turn your head, Saray, you see the beautiful goldfish with the long, flowing fins just peacefully swirling about on the inside of this perfect sphere of water, as if nothing had happened. Dottle,
I can't do anything, right? Because it's not my turn.
well, we're going to go back up to Maglo here in a second. But
Yeah.
Dottle, when that happens, you do get shoved up against the back wall, and you take 3 points of damage as you hit the stone wall very roughly. And there's like dirt and debris that kind of collapses down on you as you slide down the wall. Maglo, it is now your turn. What would you like to do?
And then grabs a cloth or whatever was being used to hold it from Saray, and then wraps it back around it.
You grab the
for prying eyes.
Yeah, you grab that leather cutting that Saray was using, and you wrap it around the orb and shove it back into the bag that Saray was using.
Milo wants to look at Doddle because the flash came from there, and just to make optical pat down of what's going on.
You've lost sight of Doddle as it seems as if she's collapsed somewhere. You see the stone sarcophagi that have been kind of littered around the room, and you see the newly opened stone casket, the one that was interworked with dwarven runes and strange silver chain. But the chain had been broken off, the top had been opened, and if you recall, all of that energy somehow from this artifact had been, when Doddle put their blood upon it, it caused this caustic reaction. Is there anything that you want to do when you do not see Doddle?
Is everyone okay?
Doddle, is now your turn. What would you like to do?
That's my reaction to when you say that.
Am I like conscious?
It is hard for you to focus your eyes, but you see around you the crypt, and as if you're coming out of a pool of water, your senses are balancing themselves out to the situation around you. So you do see the shadows and the shapes of your companions in this dark space, and you hear Maglo's voice, but it sounds like he's a mile away.
I can hear myself telling myself to shout back at Maglo. Like my brain is thinking it, but I just feel like the rest of my body can't move.
I can feel myself shaking, but that's about it. Can I look around? What do I see?
You see the stone sarcophagus. The runes have completely turned dull, and there is no glow upon them at all. There is silver chain that has been kind of scattered about the floor here, and you see Hawk's armored legs in front of you. There's also, pardon me, there is also a scattering of bone. That was here before. The entire place, to remind you, has been littered in remains due to the carrion crawlers that have made a nest in the other chamber.
Yeah, I feel like after all of that, she just frozen. Just shaking. Just staring off, real zoned out. 100% depersonalized in this moment.
All right, I just want to, for the record, say that I have no idea what's happening as Calder announces to the chamber that he is confused. Do we, is she okay? Anybody? Okay, great. I
hope so.
I'll just, look, Maglo, you do the medicine thing. Can you, I'll just stand here. And, Saray, it is now your turn. What would you like to do?
I'm still like, I'm a wreck. Okay, so we have the ball, so we don't have to worry about that.
It is not a ball.
Do I see the thing, the squidopus thing anywhere?
No. If you recall,
It hid under a rock, right? Or
it's
like
in the
statue?
fountain. Yeah, it went back to its
Okay.
nest in the fountain, and it retreated. So it has
Okay.
not been active. And
So I can't see it in the water. The water's too filthy.
The water's too filthy, and the ghost is also not present.
Okay.
And you're also very badly wounded and exhausted.
Yep. I am a wreck. I'm going to. Fuck, I can't do anything.
There's always something, but at the same time, sometimes the right answer is to do nothing.
Nothing, tra-la-la. Yeah, I'm gonna do nothing.
Do you have any healing that you want to try to perform, or
I don't have any abilities. I don't have any.
You don't have any potions?
I don't have any potions.
I find that so hard to believe, but all right.
Yeah. I have everything but.
Okay.
You could ask your friend to heal you, and they could do it on the next.
Right, but I'm past. I'm like. I
right.
guess I guess that's what Saray's gonna do. Is she's just gonna like you have to
Got it.
purify the fountain.
Okay, so you are
gotta-
mumbling incoherently on your turn.
Just trust me. You gotta
Understood.
purify the fountain.
Okay, purify the fountain. Again, purify the fountain is what you say. And it is now Illyri. What would you like to do?
I keep hearing like this purify the fountain, looking around, smell myself,
You
just wanna-
definitely need to be purified yourself.
and just she doesn't know what to do either. So are we done here? Did we got the rings? The thing's not attacking us anymore, and we turned all of the doors on or something. We can leave, right?
Gotta purify the fountain.
How does
Oh,
one
I mean-
purify this fountain? Like I don't I can hum a tune at it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Saray makes this like motion with like her hands like up against her face, clasped together.
Oh, boss, come on, boss. You got something like this you could do, right?
You gotta
I'm gonna do exactly what Saray is doing.
Jeez. I don't like getting her involved. Last time I did that, I kind of drained Maglo.
Ew. No. That's it. Saray's
Boss,
just going.
boss, you gotta
Saray's just going. Ew. No. And then like drunkenly points to June.
I knew it.
Oh, thank God.
June, you got purified fountain.
I don't know. I'm just so...
And then passes out.
So you are now unconscious.
You're the nature.
Yeah. I'll take that.
Listen, Chip, for when it comes to dealing with polluted things, I'm pretty sure your god is way more suited.
I don't disagree.
June, you're up. You and Hawk are both up. If you want to go out of order, however you want to handle it. But we're at initiative 4 and 1.
Sorry, I gotta see if I can make it to the fountain because I'm exhausted.
Yes, you move at half rate, but it does allow you to get there in just enough movement you have to get right.
Oh,
about
sorry.
there. Yeah, that's okay. You can get there to touch it, but you are very slow. Hawk, what are you doing?
So, the casket's open, right?
Yes.
All right. Have we? I'm still kind of trying to piece things together. So, like, nothing's come out of it or anything, right?
No.
Okay. All right. Hawk is going to. He takes a moment after reliving that, and he looks to the casket, and he looks to the body, and he simply, like, silently walks up and cradles this kind of mummified body as like gingerly as he can, and he's going to try and make his way to the casket and put her in it so that way they're together.
There is inside the casket a slick red enameled box.
Is it a large box or small? Or...
It is small.
Hawk takes a moment and he considers grabbing it, but after remembering the effects of what happened the last time he dealt with an enameled box, he's actually going to kind of scoot a little bit, and he's going to place her body over the box so that way it's not like really visible, like trying to obscure it with her body.
All right.
And he's going to just kind of touch her on the head and whisper a quiet prayer for her to find her lover in the afterlife.
Make a religion roll for me, please.
Using the bronze dice. It's 18 plus 1, so that's 19.
Okay. You speak a prayer, and it is eloquent and simple, but you do feel that you have brought some peace as the air around you seems to lighten as you speak the words. Give me your prayer. I want to hear it.
Hawk touches her on the brow, closes his eyes, and whispers in Celestial. Every journey must always end, and every end is a new beginning. Step forward on your path and don't be afraid. In the end, you'll find what you seek, but for now, rest. Your struggles are over.
I'll make a perception check for you, Hawk. So as you stand there and you look down and you say your words, and you feel this wrap of dark energy, and it's not negative. It's sort of the wash of emptiness and peace that the Raven Queen can bring. There are many facets to her, and death is a part of it. But your prayer and the words seem to echo through the chamber, and there's a visible release in the space, and the corpse, which had been very contorted and discomforting to look upon, relaxes. And even though it's in the same position, you see it looks as if a tension has released out of the body, and the mouth just gently kind of sighs as it lies there. At the top of the next round, Maglo, what are you doing?
Maglo is going to do as Calder says and sprints over to where Doddle should be.
Okay, and Doddle, Calder actually joins you over here, and you can see old man Calder, beard and terrifying fingernails. But you do see the scratch, and that's, immediately you recognize it as Calder. And Maglo and Doddle, the three of you were together. How are you caring for Doddle?
He does what he always does. He takes his bag off, he opens it, and he's like, "Hi, hey, you doing all right? Hey, I need you to look at me right now. I know you're looking down. Hey, hon." And then he picks her chin up to look him in the eyes, like, hey, you doing okay there, right? And he's gonna take out a small a small torch that he's built, and be like, okay, look, open your eyes, right? I need you to talk to me.
The eyes that look back at you look hollow and shallow, almost like Doddle isn't even behind them anymore. And then as you shine the torch on her eyes, there starts to be reflections glistening back at you as her kind of all hollow, empty eyes just slowly start to well up with tears. But her face still seems expressionless, and she's still shaking.
Calder pulls you into a hug.
Doddle just... the expression slowly fades into her face, and she just starts wailing.
There she is. All right, hey, it's okay. You're with us now. We're with us. The others, they're dealing with whatever that was, but it's all gonna be okay, right? You're back with us. Doddle, I'm gonna need you to talk to me.
She's just...
I just give her a minute, okay? I'm fairly sure that whatever that was, it wasn't normal. I'm no artificer, but
I know. It was normal. I don't need full sentences. I just need a recognition of the fact that you can hear me.
Am I close to a wall or a floor?
Your back is up against the wall, Doddle. You hit it very hard. In fact, there are stone crumbled from behind where Doddle struck it.
Okay, tears are streaming down my face. It's already soaking. I'm not looking at anybody, but she just flings her tiny arm out and screams, "My love, allow me," and slams on the ground 3 times.
Okay, all right, good.
That's what your boyfriend said in the flashback, right? That's what I'm trying to do here.
I'm gonna say, that is what he said, but I don't know that would ring to Maglo's.
I don't know it. I don't know if he would clock that's what it was.
Well, then it's just a weird moment.
No, here's what I'm gonna do, because I like the narrative idea behind it.
Yeah.
The voice that comes out to everyone else sounds like Doddle's little screechy goblin voice, but to Maglo, it sounds like him.
He fully stops and cannot move. He doesn't, loses all remembrance of checking up on people during battles, everything. He's just stuck.
Well, there you go. You got your sentence. Hey, do you want some water? And the flask is in front of you.
She doesn't move. She just cries and shakes and stares at the ground.
Calder's got one arm around you. You can see this is super awkward. Like Calder doesn't know what to do, and it's certainly like being hugged by
Like a there.
it's like, is this how you do this? And he is, however, trying to help you. Maggle, you're standing there. I'm gonna leave you to stew in that for a minute. Saray, you are conscious but weakened. What do you want to do?
I mean, I'm just gonna keep.
I know you see June standing at the edge of the fountain, and you assume that she's gonna do what you have recommended.
You got.
Yep.
Is
that how you do that, Saray? Thanks for the.
Yeah, that's how. Like, she's not religious, but she's seen plenty of people that are religious do praying, so she's trying to mimic, like, pantomime praying, because she can't really, like, she's too exhausted to word it properly. So she's just like
like alchemy and Fullmetal Alchemist.
Yeah, just like that. Just like the Fullmetal Alchemist. Like you got trying to put her hands together, put it up to her head, like mumbling, like just the whole time. That's what she's trying to do. And then she like she'll drift into like passing out, and then she'll kind of gain consciousness again, and you gotta purify the water. And then kind of nod out again, like she's just like she's not doing great, guys.
No, she's clearly not doing well.
She's not doing well.
Illyri, what are you doing? You see all this happening around you. You're kind of standing on your own now, over here in the chamber. There is the fountain in front of you. The door that has been sealed shut with the hole next to it that leads into that chamber that Calder had discovered. And then there is a door behind you. And of course, the passageway that you entered from.
Well, I am just going to assess the situation. Everybody seems pretty occupied with their own tasks. Perhaps we're going to investigate what Calder was looking at, just to see if that's our next step out of here. Or actually, I want to, presuming that my companions here have everything on lockdown, because they seem to have it, I would like to see, like, what's our next step? Like, hypothetically, everything's fine. We can leave here. What's my next thing?
Well, the party's been pretty split about what to do next. And in the middle of all this, I don't think that any answers had truly been come upon as far as where you go next. There are options. You can move back through this corridor, through the chambers that you've come to, and try to emerge back into the City of the Dead, which you know had a certain amount of dangers, as the black cat that has been sitting pertly in front of the closed door has been guiding you through this place. And that black cat, that undead, zombified cat, is sitting at the door next to the fountain that is stone door closed, and has been pawing at it. However, you know that Calder climbed through one of the graves, one of the tombs, and found a passageway deeper into some of these locked corridors.
I still have that translation spell on me. Can I go over there and just see if there's anything that like says like push here to leave?
You find a sign that says push here to leave and heal the entire party. Do you press it?
No.
No? Okay. No, I'm kidding, of course. There are a lot of plaques and old dusty stone etchings that are in a variety of different languages. This tomb, you are coming to realize, is old, and it is also one that is being used to house people of many different cultures. And none of it seems to fit together in any kind of cohesive way. And maybe that's the point. Maybe these are the individuals that didn't have burial places for their own specific cultures, and this was a chamber that was used to facilitate those. You also do know, however, that people who died in this sort of manner and to be interred here would have to have either great power or wealth. There would be no plaque for someone who was of a lower caste. It would be more of a, perhaps a burning, or you would be thrown into a mass grave. So these people are of some sort of importance as you go through, and you do see dates, and you see some of them have titles that are placed upon them and family sigils, and you remember the stone inset area that had the silver token that was inside of it, that had to be turned to be able to gain admission into this crypt where the stone sarcophagus was pulled from. And there are a few other pieces that are like that scattered around this tomb.
May I ask a question about
Yes.
how does this compare to where I woke up?
This is
Do I remember that like when I opened my eyes before
Mhm.
joining this group, what was it marble different, or was there dirt where I was and there's marble here? And...
everything from that time is like a dream, but you do not think that you were in the same place. You just kind of realized that you were walking and you found yourself in these tunnels approaching. I mean, you feel, when you think about it, you feel a connection to that cat. And you can't explain it, but you kind of know where that cat is without looking at that cat. And that is what seems to have been drawing you forward. But what you do clearly remember, O'Leary, is the this gaunt, ghostly face, kind of long hair, balding across the top, with ghostly features and long, very thin fingers and dark robes. Older, very old, as this figure kind of hovers over you, and the flicker of strange torchlight. That's really it.
Thank you.
So do you do anything when you move over here and are kind of examining the walls?
No, just careful of where I step and trying not to get in anybody's way, and just trying to figure out what the hell I'm doing here.
Yeah. It's all pretty foreign to you. You're used to sea burials. This is all, crypts are a little more of a landlubber's, bread and basket. We'll move on from there. Juniper, you are in front of this fountain now. What would you like to do? The water is still thick and filthy, and it's sludge-like, and there is scum that has settled across the top, and there are a few bubbles here and there, but it doesn't seem to have anything moving inside of it.
Well, June hears her friend scream, right? Doddle's crying now?
Yeah,
Yeah, there's stuff happening behind you.
like sobbing.
June gets to the fountain and she turns around and she's like,
You see a number of people around Doddle, so you know Doddle's not alone, but it's up to you as to what you want to do in this moment.
yeah. Okay, big sister mode activates. June puts her hand onto the fountain, and you know what? I got this just in case. This is just for me. This is my little shield. She puts her hand on her shield, and then she also puts her other one onto the fountain, and she starts praying.
June, I want you to make a religion roll for me, please, and you can do so with an advantage.
Oh, thank God. Okay. I rolled a 5 the first time, and then I just rolled a nat 20.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Do me a favor and let's toss a secondary roll in roll 20 if you can do it
Yes.
for that confirmation.
Yes, I can.
So an 11. So no, you didn't confirm, but it's all right. You still have a natural 20.
I just pooped.
Yep. So you that's not going to help the water, but
I'm so sorry to be the biggest party pooper, but isn't June exhausted, so rolls everything with a disadvantage?
I'm
You're
so
right.
sorry. You're absolutely right.
You're
June
right.
is exhausted and can't roll with an advantage. So you're going to have to take the
No.
5. That's the first
Oh,
roll that
no.
you made.
So that 5
Sorry, gang.
with religion
No,
turns
no,
into
no.
a 10, so still not that great.
I'm giving you a brownie point, Matt. Thank you for keeping us honest. Yeah, no, I can't keep track of your exhaustion, so please.
You are preventing so many annoying comments on these videos in the future, my love.
No, it's fine. We would have heard about it one way or another. But
Wait.
yeah, if your
We
character,
appreciate every
Wait.
actually you bring to the table.
Can I use my inspiration on that?
No, unfortunately you can't because you'd have to announce it before you rolled. All right, so you have a 5. You do reach out, and the depth
He's
of
like-
this crypt and everything that you've been through and the sheer weight that you are carrying right now, and your inability to breathe and the suffocating air here and the stench have dulled your connection to the Oaken Father. And as you touch upon your shield, it feels so distant, that love and that warmth and the flow of nature. So you begin refocusing yourself. I'll let you roll again next round. As you sit there and focus. Okay.
Okay.
Yes, and just so that we are clear, June is exhausted. Saray is very exhausted.
Very exhausted.
I believe. Hawk, are you exhausted? Who else is exhausted? There's one more.
I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to turn off grappled and paralyzed from when I was fighting the thingy. Let me
You
fix
are
that.
neither of those things, but you are exhausted. And I believe
Yes.
that's it. I don't think anybody else is exhausted, but the 3 of you are definitely pretty bad off.
Yeah, we ain't great.
I see where it tells me what effects. Okay.
Yes.
That's
That's okay. That's okay. We're bound to make mistakes.
Oh shoot! Do I need to do a reroll on my prayer though?
I'm gonna let it
Because
go.
I forgot to-
I'm gonna let it go. Moving on beyond that. I'm just gonna say that you were just really hyper focused in that moment. So let's go ahead and move beyond June here. Hawk, what are you doing as this body kind of relaxes in front of you?
I just kind of like rub my eyes as the exhaustion hits me,
Yes.
literally. And I'm gonna try and put the lid back on the casket.
Okay. Yeah, you can.
Like, I see everything going on behind me, but I notice the crowd, and I'm like kind of dazed after everything. So I'm just focusing on that.
Okay, so we're gonna move back up to the top. Maglo, I put little snails on all of your markers so that we now know that you are exhausted. Maglo, the words echo through, and now you're wondering whether or not you heard correctly, whether that was real, because no one else seemed to react strangely, and Doddles seems to be speaking normally now. Well, crying normally.
Does, with the fact that he heard it in his voice, does Maglo remember when he said that to him? Or is it he just heard it in his voice?
Maglo will never forget. So that is part of your story, and it is kind of ingrained on your spirit, and that voice will never be forgotten. It is someone who is no longer in your life, but you will never forget that voice. And you are certain that that was the voice, but you don't know whether it's your mind playing tricks on you or whether it actually came out of Doddle's mouth.
Doddle, what was that?
She's gonna take
I
deep
should
breath in
clarify
and-
before you start, though, Momo.
yeah.
Doddle, you remember everything. Clearly. Those visions are with you now, and they are not forgotten. I mean, it's a little hazy, and it's like waking up from a dream, but they don't go away.
Okay, I'm gonna take a deep breath in and several shallow breaths out. I'm still not gonna look at anybody, but I'm gonna say Maglo, I saw the temple burn.
Doddle, were you looking at my memories or his? Because we're in a crypt. Please don't tell me he's gone, Doddle. Doddle.
I don't know.
Doddle. Please tell me he's not gone.
I didn't see anything after that. Not from you.
Right. And Mag just picks up his stuff. I think that takes about 6 seconds.
I mean, we're only using our initiative order here to keep just a kind of a turn of the wheel. It's not necessary for us to stay in it. So narratively, if people have things that they want to do, I'll just open it up and we'll allow you to do it. I will say that the one thing that I need to keep track of is the number of rounds that we are stagnant within the space. So I just need to know that all of you have performed your single action for the round, however you want to do it.
He just collects his things. Some things fell out the bag as he like slid toward Doddle, and he's just trying to sort himself out.
Okay. I'll just keep us in order then. Just keep things organized. Doddle, as he walks away, is there anything that you do?
Process my trauma.
Go ahead and make a wisdom
First
save.
of all.
Go ahead and make a wisdom save.
$18.
Yeah, you do manage to kind of lash the ship back together, and you find some comfort, and you're working through it, and that can be as much of a roleplay moment for you as you like. But I will say that you do manage to find some strength.
What were the names of the bodies again?
Anise and Mari.
Mari?
Well, the name on the tomb is Marisha, but you instinctively know that these two lovers referred to that individual as Mari.
Okay. Then I'd like to grab Calder's hand and say thank you. And I'd like to stand up.
Calder helps you do so.
Anise and Mari were escaped slaves. They had stolen something from someone named Zastam.
I need Maglo, Hawk, and Illyri, and actually Saray to make history rolls.
19.
It's 14 and 16.
Oh, no shit.
So 14.
Okay. Does anybody get above an 18?
Yep.
You got just an 18?
I got 19.
Mm-hmm. The Council of Zulkirs is the leading magocracy within Thay, which is a powerful, and you know this well, Maglo, because you've studied quite a bit of it. It is a magnificent culture of learning and magic. However, it is a harsh and unforgiving place. There are nearly endless chains of bureaucracy and hatred that flow within that space, and it is sat within these kind of barren and desert lands. It's very different from Faerun, and it is across the sea and very foreign to individuals who are not familiar with it. Sadly, the entire culture is fueled by rampant slavery, and the value that is put on life is very harshly judged. And you do know that at the seat of all of this is an organization known as the Red Wizards. And the Red Wizards are very open about their practices of undeath. And the reason that you are so familiar is because some of these Thayan secrets were delved from the Netherese, the culture that you have spent the better part of your life studying. Those studies led you to Teowin and Evermeet. Zastam is a figure of secrecy. However, from what you understand, Zastam was the, if not one of the, controlling forces behind the Red Wizards of Thay. And if these women had offended Zastam, the fact that they made it this far before dying is immensely impressive. This is no small figure. That's definitely clear to you. There are things about Zastam that you do not recall, and you would have to do further research if you wanted to know more. All right. Calder is helping you, Dottle, kind of supporting you. You are weak. Do you have levels of exhaustion, Dottle?
I thought I had gotten one, but I did not realize how to mark it down.
That's okay.
So now I'm unsure, but I can grab one just to even things out amongst the party if you want.
We are definitely going to call it a single level of exhaustion, if not from before, then from what you've just undergone. All right?
Yeah, that was a lot.
Okay, so there you go. 4 of you have levels of exhaustion. All right. So with that in mind, as you're processing a lot right now, Maglo, and that information, like clockwork, kind of moves through your mind and kind of helps you to push past the emotional thrust of what's just happened. But it still is painful. Saray, you're still conscious. You're fading in and out, and you are deeply exhausted. But
So I see June kind of having a hard time focusing on it because of everything that's going on. So I'm going to army crawl all the way to June.
okay, so you
and I'm
crawl
gonna-
over to June.
I'm gonna kind of like sit, I guess, next to her, I guess, and kind of like put my hands like on her back and maybe like on her shield too, and kind of try and like, obviously I'm not religious, so I'm not gonna try and assist with prayer, but I'm just gonna try and like hold her together and like be the physical support.
Okay, I'm gonna call that.
Yes.
Yeah, that's an aid action. So you're going to assist June in their next action, which is going to happen after Illyri. Illyri, you are over here. You're still searching around this area. The ragged black cat looks up at you. Wow.
What do you want me to do, cat?
It paws at the door. Wow.
I'm gonna stick my ear up against the door and listen.
Okay, I'll make a perception check for you. You hear something shuffling on the other side of the door, and you think you hear the clinking of armor, but it's very slow, and it's through this stone door. So,
Is there a crack in the door at all?
no, it is sealed. There's dust and dirt and debris all around it. This is a big, heavy stone pallet that has been inset as a door. You don't even have a handle. So, looking at this thing, you're not even sure how to open it.
Could I just like knock on it, just tap on it just to see like a little...
Yeah, so you tap on the stone, and there's a slight dull echo, and the noise on the other side of the door stops.
Oh, please don't have just turned a bunch of undead this way and instead be another group of people like us trying to find our way out of here. That's
You
all.
can meet up, have a picnic.
I'm sure there's a meat pie on the other side of this door.
We're going to become the meat pie.
Nothing else happens, Illyri. It is dead silent now. Pun intended. June, go ahead and make your religion roll again, and you cannot roll with an advantage, but you can use your inspiration, and with the assistance action, you can add a +5.
+5?
Just for this instance, I'm giving you a +5.
I don't think I need my inspiration.
Well, you don't have to use it if you don't want it, but you have to
I'm not-
announce
I'm-
it before you roll.
I am not going to use my inspiration
Okay.
because that plus.
Which is actually not the rule. You can use an inspiration whenever you want, but I'm being a little persnickety about it.
Can't do math. +5 from you. 13.
Okay, so 13 is with the +5.
Yes.
Yeah, you're still having trouble connecting. You do feel the shield is focusing, and you don't know what it is. You think that the shield might have been drained of its energy, and it is as if the divine energy of this artifact has been dulled by something in the room. So I will, if you wish to try to purify, you have the ability to try to do so already, and it kind of flashes into your mind that you already have the tools that you need. But you don't sense any great connection to the Oak Father. You just feel this place is too oppressive.
Where are these tools? Wait. No, can I do that? I don't know if I can do that. I'm gonna try it anyways. Can I like? I don't know if it works this way. Can I like maybe cast cantrip, mending on it?
You could cast mending, but you know that wouldn't do it. How many channel divinity do you still have?
I didn't realize I had. Where is that?
Click on your features and traits.
Oh, ha ha ha!
Yeah,
That explains a
you
lot.
do have a few like you have a reaction where you can dampen elements, and you have the ability to destroy undead, and you are able to channel divinity to use it to charm animals and plants, but you can also use channel divinity to do other things. So if you would like, if you still, I assume you do because you haven't used them, you can use them because your nature domain. You can use them and make a nature roll, and I will allow for for this to suffice in the purification of this fountain?
Yes, I'm going to use one of them.
Okay, and it's just going to be a
Now,
it's going to be a straight roll. You don't get any advantages or anything like that. But I'm not giving you disadvantages, which technically, if you didn't have some support, you would have not gotten that. You'd be rolling at a disadvantage.
Oh, wait. I thought that was a 2, but it's actually a 12 plus
2, so you have a
14.
14. Yeah. So okay.
Not fitting.
You are focusing and you use one instance of your channel divinity, and as you place your hand into the water and you begin to pray, your other hand on the fountain, you feel Soray's hand on your back, and you do feel bolstered. Her life force, you can kind of sense it. It's all over the map right now. But as you plunge your hand into this thick, viscous, dark water, flashes begin appearing before you. And the first thing that you realize, June, is that this place is deeply, deeply haunted, and that the curse that is upon it is very strong. You immediately feel as if you're underwater being drowned, and you're gasping, and you feel the water in your mouth. And Soray, as you're watching June, you see the black water coming out of her mouth and nose and ears as she's praying, and this black void in the water begins to, kind of like a pebble has been dropped out of it, it begins opening up, and the darkness disappears, and for a moment there is this clear water. However, you have not rolled high enough to completely disperse this, and you will have to continue this for the next round. So,
We're gonna do this, damn it!
At least I know I have this thing now.
Yeah, it has a couple different
Jeez.
abilities. I was looking at your sheet trying to figure out, because I was like, I know you can do it, but I wasn't sure what the physical ability is, and that's technically it.
So,
And you could just kill undead too, which is kind of rad.
I mean,
Just
things of
blink them
importance.
out of existence.
Yeah, things of importance here.
That would have helped earlier.
Aliri, standing there. Oh, sorry, no, we already did that. Hawk, you are standing. Everyone else is slowly moving away from this space. You're standing there. What would you like to do?
I take a moment. I place my hand on the casket. I just kind of close my eyes in reverence, and I'm going to turn over to whatever's going on over there. Actually, I go to Aliri, and I see that she knocked on the tomb thing. I'm like, is everything above board over there?
Yeah, there's some movement on the other side.
We should probably rest up for a little bit before we go on.
Oh yeah, definitely gonna need some fuel.
Yeah, at least a short one. I don't think that if we don't, I don't think we're gonna make it out of here.
Listen, boss, I know you're real interested in following this cat around, but don't forget there is a way to get out of here that doesn't possibly involve going through this door.
Yeah, but yeah, no, the things that are chasing us. I mean, on one hand, I think, yeah, going to the surface might be easier, but on the other hand, if the grasping eye finds us, there's something a lot worse than skeletons that'll come after us.
Did you see the grasping eye?
Yeah, the Xanathars are the ones that have been chasing us. One of their servants is a mind flayer, and
You hear this, Doddle.
located us.
Well, sounds like a whole lot of nonsense to be a part of.
Yeah. Whoever joins up with them has to have no soul at all. Anyway, I'm gonna go check on everybody else. Thank you.
You turn and you turn back towards the fountain. You see what's happening in the fountain, and June is awash with this faint green aura that is lightening the room. However, there is this black viscous fluid that's pouring, like she's crying it. It's coming out of her mouth and her nose and her ears, and it's just kind of like seeping out of her. And she looks terrifying, but she has her hand in this water, and around about a third of the fountain, it has turned into clear, clean water. And the face on the shield, for those of you who are paying attention, it seems to shift into one of rage. Like it looks like the face is screaming, and the eyes are. June doesn't see this, but it looks as if it is screaming in rage. Saray has probably the best view of it, but Saray is like lying on the ground, hand on June's back, helping to support them. And that's the end of the round. Moving back up, Maglo. This is, by the way, this is the third round. Maglo, what are you doing in this moment?
June's got it. Illyria and Hark are doing there. Saray is questionably fine. Will be fine. Calder and Doddle are there. Doddle, do you still have the letter thing for Rosie?
Mm-hmm.
Doddle,
Yeah.
can I have it?
Just nod and hand it over.
It's a small wooden box that has been lacquered extremely bright lavender and is covered in gems and little stones.
Actually, may I, as he reaches for the box, can I just like grab his arm for a second and bring him a little bit closer? And just
Yeah, you grab onto the burned arm, and as you do, you have a flash of the moment when it was yours.
I'm gonna look him in the eye and say, I don't think we can trust O'Leary. And then I'm gonna let go and hand him the box.
I am going to make a perception check for Illyri.
No!
Illyri is Elven.
Shit!
And if she wasn't, I wouldn't make this check. But Elven perception is a thing. What is the bonus on your perception, please? Illyri, I don't have your sheet open. I have June's open.
It is 5.
Oh, that's really good.
Oh no.
Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. Dodd'll make a I could call it, yeah, let's call it deception. Make a deception check.
21!
You got a natural 20.
Holy shit.
Roll it again to see if you get a second one, because first of all, she doesn't hear, so Illyri is oblivious to it. Okay.
It's 12.
Okay, so yeah, you whisper perfectly so that the splash of water and everything, you wait for the right moment, and you say this to Maglo in this moment where there's so much going on that Illyri couldn't possibly hear you, and you're sure of that. Okay.
Maglo looks toward Illyri, unbuttons his. Fuck. He unbuttons the like thing on his pistol, the holster, and he's gonna he puts the box in his pack. He's fully trusting Doddle because Doddle knows shit that she shouldn't. So she must know something that she shouldn't.
I also would like to remind you that we had a conversation where I knew what your sister looked like at one point too.
Yeah,
Somewhere in
you
the
fully
carriage.
know shit that you shouldn't. So he's just trusting wholeheartedly, like she knows something.
So you are prepared to make a move. I guess the question is, do you make a move right now?
Calder heard, right? Must have. Holding Doddle?
Yeah, Calder definitely heard and is sort of shocked and looking to you, and then looking down at what you're doing, and then looking back over at Illyri. I will allow you, Illyri, to make an insight check based on Calder's face.
I will say that through the whole conversation between Hawk and Illyri, Doddle was probably staring daggers at Illyri.
This is no abnormal behavior from any of you, by the way. This is the same.
I've been rather friendly.
Well,
Magla's
you've all
been
been
okay to Illyri.
okay, but it's not like getting hugs from June or anything.
Yeah,
You know, so
it's so
of all.
frustrating. So Illyri, I do want you to make that insight check. I do want to know if you get some sort of clue, given that Calder is real bad about poker face. I think that's appropriate for the character.
I got an 18.
Yeah, something's not right. You don't know what it is, but Calder gave you a look that makes you feel like you might be in some sort of danger. You don't understand it or why, but that look on Calder's face is definitely was about you, directed at you. All right, so you do have some clue that there's something off here with the group. Okay, so I'm going to leave you there, and I want to go down and Calder whispers to you, Maglo. Maybe we should just, deal with the situation at hand first. I'm just saying, we have a lot that we have to get through right now, and this may not help us.
We need to get to safety.
Right. Play it, easy sailing for now. And so that's what Calder does. Saray, you're still supporting June. I want you to make I'll make a perception check for you.
Hey,
Saray, what is your bonus? It's real high for perception.
it's like a 8.
Okay.
Pew, pew, pew. Perception. Oh wait, no, perception. Wait, no, this is not my character sheet.
This is not my beautiful
Whoopsie.
house.
Whose character
This
sheet
is
are
not
you
my beautiful
using?
life.
I wasn't using any. I was looking over June's to try and find that spell to help her
All
out.
right. Well, use your own character sheet, please.
Yes, sir.
I mean, I don't want to be
yeah.
that DM, but
Yeah,
I'm gonna
well,
tell
I'm
you.
trying to be helpful.
All
Do
right.
I also
Character sheets are complicated.
do I have time to at some point just say like,
Is June okay? Cause she didn't look it.
Do I
I feel like I should be a little concerned.
You are clearly concerned. You do say it. No one responds immediately. As June has, June looks like, she's in the middle of something. She's like, black goo is coming out of her face. All right.
I have a +8 to my perception.
Yeah, so you do notice this. Make a nature check.
I don't think I have that. I have a -1.
All right, well, make a nature check. It's untrained, so I mean.
Oh,
yeah.
that's an 18. Not bad.
Yeah, you immediately recognize that it's working, but that it's going to continue to drain energy from June until it's completed, and it may cause more harm to her.
Huh. Okay.
Is there anything that you want to do?
I don't think I have anything to help. I'm a fighter, not a magic user or a religious person.
Okay.
Do I have any equipment? No. Do I have any? What are the stats on the bright dagger?
You really don't know.
I don't even have it in my sheet.
Well,
So,
nobody's really spent a
Okay,
lot of
we haven't
time.
fucked with it yet. All right, cool.
I mean, you have it. You know that it has significance. You assume that it has some sort of ability, but you don't know what that is.
Okay.
if you don't have anything that you
Yeah,
can do,
I don't have anything. Can I try and, I don't know, channel my own energy
Do you want to channel your own energy?
to her? I don't have magic or channeling or anything, but I can spend a key.
Yeah. So that is
Can
a
I
way.
do that?
You can. How many key do you have left right now?
Fuck. How many do I have? I have 2.
So you can spend a key and you can infuse energy. However, is that what you want to do? You know the energy that you work with. Do you think that that would help in this instance?
Oh, no, it absolutely would not. So no, never mind. I don't want to do that. That would probably make this way worse.
So supporting her normally is absolutely fine.
Cool.
So you go ahead and make another nature roll. Okay. So yeah, you're doing the best that you can. You don't know if it's helping or not. June, your hand is in this water. Are you going to spend another of your channel divinity?
Yes.
Okay, that is your final channel divinity until you take a short rest. Make a religion roll for me.
Come on. Am I still doing her +5?
You are not. So this
I'm
is
not. Okay.
This is without.
And it is a dirty 20.
A dirty 20 is still very good. So you are focused, and the water continues to clear, and there is this thick black pool that is surrounding you, and you feel something at the edge of your consciousness push back. And I need you to make a charisma saving throw.
Buddy, I think I have disadvantage because of exhaustion, right? Yes.
Yeah, you have a disadvantage because of your exhaustion.
Okay, 13.
Pretty respectable considering. You stumble as you feel a force of will barrel into your own, and from the depths of this fountain, which is now almost completely clear of this black, viscous, dark stain, a large tentacled form bursts out of the water in front of you, and the tentacles are flailing open, and you see a dark and withered corpse inside of it, and the corpse is screaming, and that scream echoes through the chambers and rattles the stone itself. If anything was unaware of your appearance in this space, it is going to be very clear that everything within a mile radius knows that something is going on here. We have a contested series of rolls to make. You can choose to use your wisdom, and remember, you are at a disadvantage. You can use your wisdom, but every time that you do, it is going to reduce the your chance of success, and you are going to garner negatives as you do. If you choose to switch to a different resistance, such as charisma, or if you wish to use maybe your constitution and try to put your physical self on the line, you can choose to do that as well. Effectively, what is happening here is an exorcism, and you have to free a spirit from a cursed shell. So, as you've already spent 2 channel divinity to begin the action, I will have you choose your first attribute to use, and this is just going to be a straight attribute saving throw.
Could I use? I'll use charisma.
You're going to use charisma to start with? Okay. So you're using charisma as your first attribute. Go ahead and roll it.
An 11.
Okay, that's with a disadvantage. That's still pretty good.
Oh, with a disadvantage. Sorry, keep forgetting. Yeah, it's still 11.
All right. Oops, I dropped a die. Okay. And you feel a push of resistance, and you do not feel as if you've gained any grab or hold on the spirit. And the next time that you use your charisma, you will be at an additional -1. So this is happening in the center of the room. What is everybody else doing while this is happening?
I'd like to rush to help.
Okay, how are you going to help?
I'm going to draw my holy symbol of the Matron of Ravens, and I am going to do my channel of divinity, which is the Oath of Enmity. Or wait, no, sorry, the Abjure Enemy. As an action, I can choose one creature within 60 feet that I can see to make a Wisdom saving throw, DC 15. Fiends and undead have disadvantage. On a failure, the creature is frightened. Its speed is reduced to 0 for a minute until it takes damage. Yeah. And if it succeeds, then the creature's speed is just halved.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so how many channel divinity? You only have the one channel divinity.
I only have the one.
Okay, so you've spent that, and I'm sorry, it was fiend or undead.
Yeah. So I pull my amulet out. I face it towards the creature, and I shout, "Your lover's on the other side.
Okay.
Leave and join her."
Yeah, it will make its wisdom saving throw. It rails against it, and it doesn't seem to be moving. It seems to be locked in this place, but it doesn't leave. It doesn't move, however. It is frozen in place. It doesn't seem to be leaving the fountain. You are, by the force of your own will, Hawk, holding it in the area that it is currently within. You don't feel like it can move or lash out, and as long as you are sustaining this, it will not move. However, what you know, just internally you sense it, this is neither a fiend nor undead.
Oh.
Yeah, so it is something else. Okay, so with that, that moves us over. Okay, so if we're jumping around here, we're going back up to the top. Maglo.
Looking around, can Maglo sense or like gather that they are working toward a more peaceful, in quotation marks, solution rather than just attacking and trying to kill it?
Yeah, I mean, you could try to kill it if you wanted to. It doesn't seem like what June is doing. I mean, the creature doesn't seem to like it. But you were smart enough to realize that whatever this is, it's riding the corpse that is in the center of it. So this creature or being or whatever it might be has possessed this corpse. The two are not the same. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You could try to kill it, but you don't know what
it would. Yeah.
In fact, it doesn't look like it's doing well anyway. You in previous minutes when this thing was emerged from the fountain, all of you did a great deal of damage to it, and it was fairly badly wounded, and that's why it retreated and was hiding. So if you decided to, you think you could just end it, but it's up to you and the rest of the group as to how you want to do it.
Maglo currently feels very raw, since this whole room brought a lot of fears and memories and whatnot to the surface. So I think he more goes on autopilot. His heart's not in it.
Right.
Like he doesn't know how to help. He doesn't want to help the religious side of it, but killing it seems he'd be outnumbered. So I think he takes his rifle and he moves it. He moves the barrel to the like little the needle one, so he can input needles. I think he readies himself for if someone gets attacked and hurt by this, he can heal them, and he's just gonna focus on that and spend most of his time shoving shit down.
Okay.
And trying to ignore it.
So I'm going to say you have a held action, and we'll see what happens
Yeah.
next. Doddle, what are you doing?
I'm gonna try something dumb. But you said that Maglo can recognize that, like, the corpse and the monster are two different things. Like, that is not...
Doddle is intelligent enough to know that, too. Yeah.
Okay. In that case, I'm not gonna do something dumb. And I think I'm just gonna shoot it. I'm just gonna fireball it.
Okay.
I'm intelligent to know that, like, that thing needs to die. Yes?
If that's... You do know that the two pieces are separated. So, like, whatever this creature is, it's riding on the corpse of what you presume to be the other lover. But if you wish to shoot a fireball, you absolutely may.
Do we want to protect that corpse? Do we need it for later? It's tricky. Fuck. I am just gonna... You know what? Reverse Uno. We're back to doing something dumb. I'm gonna run up to June.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna, like, grab her and stand between her and the monster and prepare a shield.
Okay, so you have shield prepared. That's that doesn't feel like a dumb. That feels...
No, that's so smart.
It feels pretty smart. Okay, so Doddle, move your marker. Let's put people in position here, just so that we know kind of roughly where people are. I don't want, like, Calder's over here. I imagine Maglo, you were somewhere around here. I don't really know. Saray,
Yes.
what would you like to do?
Okay. So we can see the tentacles. I can see that Hawk has used his religion powerness to freeze the tentacles, and they've stopped moving, correct?
Yeah, Hawk has
Fuck
symbol out and is holding it, and as he does, this thing is still flailing about, but it doesn't move any closer. It is held in place.
Fucking rad. Okay, so I'm going to take a second, focus, muster up whatever the fuck energy I have left. I'm gonna spend a key point, and I'm going to jump up into the air, swirl my spear, and stab down at the tentacled monster.
Okay, you are exhausted times 4.
Fuck yeah, I am. But
So-
I still can move half speed.
Oh my god.
It does
Oh my
allow you
God.
to get to it. It's only 15 feet away.
45. My full is 45.
So you can make that move. You'd have to make an acrobatics check,
Mm-hmm.
and then your attack, both of which, all of it, is going to be at a disadvantage.
Okay, that's fuck it. I'm doing it, and I spent a key. I just want to say that too. I spent.
Okay,
a key.
so wait, how does the key affect that? Like, does that...
It allows me to do the jump essentially.
Oh, okay. So then, if you spent a key for it, we
I
would
think
call
we would
that
double-check
a. Well, we would call it an advantage, but then it gets knocked down to just a normal roll for the acrobatics. What's up, Matt?
Saray's jumping into the water.
Jumping.
I'm jumping at the tentacles.
Creature.
Okay. Do you still have the alter self that I cast on you active? And that I think it lasts
Yeah,
an hour.
You are still a fish type creature. That is correct. Yeah.
Me?
Yeah. You have.
Oh,
you have
shit.
Gills.
So you can breathe underwater.
You can breathe underwater.
Okay. Rad. Cool.
You can't. You can't really be affected by the water, and that was the truth beforehand anyway. But you hadn't been
Okay.
back in the water. You have like film over your eyes. You have like webbed hands that don't really affect you in a
Got
negative
it.
way. But
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm using my key to use a dash action essentially as a bonus action on my turn.
mhm.
And then my jump distance is doubled for the turn.
You easily make it across the gap. Just make that acrobatics check straight, which is the first roll that you make here. You just roll once. If you want to use inspiration or anything like that, you can.
I don't got nothing. Fuck me.
Yeah, so that's not a great roll. And you leap forward, and this creature is held. However, you're just so weakened. You focus your energy, you leap up into the air, and you fall short. And you're now in the water in front of it. And
I'm in front of it though, right?
if you want to just perform a normal attack, you
Yeah,
can,
I'm just gonna try and attack it.
but you still have a disadvantage at your attack.
Okay. It's not as epic as I wanted it to be, but
No, I would have allowed.
it's okay.
I would
I'm
have.
tired.
I would have allowed for damage and other like
No,
considerations, but
I'm
it's,
saying
yeah, it's just a normal attack now.
I purely did the jump for story. Like
Yeah.
I wanted it to be badass, and she is exhausted, so she like tried to make it badass, but then she's like, fuck, and then in her head, not in real life.
When you use your abilities like that, when you use your key, I will always find ways to work it into some sort of advantage. It's just a normal attack now, so just roll your strike with your spear at a disadvantage.
Okay. Spear. Okay. 1, 2. I rolled. I hate that it does this. I rolled 13 on my second roll. It's on my
Okay.
D&D Beyond. 13 plus 6 is 19. So, and then I got a 17 on the prior. So,
So you got I'm sorry. The attack was a 13.
sorry.
The
Disadvantage, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
What is on the screen is the disadvantage.
Oh, 17. So you do actually hit.
Fuck yeah.
And you.
I'm using two-handed
Yeah.
piercing, so it's 5 versus the 7.
Interesting.
Because one-handed is like throwing it.
Yeah, is that correct? Because the way that the D&D Beyond works is I thought you added the two together, but I don't think that that's correct.
No, there's
the
two different. I have 2 separate rolls depending on what it is. If it's two-handed, it's a +6. If it's one-handed, it's a +8, or it's a D&D. It's a D8.
Okay.
They're two different ones.
rolls. So you have you've caused 5 points of damage as you lunge forward with a spear, and it lashes into the center of this thing, and this thick black gore starts pouring out of the form as you stab it in the center mass, and it shrieks and writhes. June, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw. What is that, bad or good? You got a 1 or a 20?
I got a 1.
Oh no.
No.
All right, roll it again.
I hate it here.
All right, please roll it in D&D Beyond.
And
All
you
right.
use your inspiration.
Whoa, but I already okay. I'll roll it there instead.
Just
I'm gonna re-roll it, but I just want the audience to know that I did roll nat 20 the second time, but I'm gonna.
It's okay.
But it was a 6 this time.
Yeah, so you didn't get another natural 1.
And
But
you use your inspiration.
Oh, I keep forgetting.
so you did get an 1, and you take a level of exhaustion.
Oh snap! Crackle pop.
Where are you at with exhaustion now?
Level 4.
Okay, so yeah, you feel your life force kind of drain out of you as this thing shrieks. You feel like it gets the upper hand, and some of the blackness in the water kind of begins to move forward as if it's taking the water back over. All right, so that's Saray's turn. Illyri, anything that you would like to add to this?
What's going on with the door? I'm watching everything happening.
Nothing is happening with the door. There was this horrid shriek that rattled the entire crypt. You're sure that everything in a mile radius of this place knows that something just happened here.
And they're attacking the creature.
That's right.
Seems like they've got it going on. And it looks like it's just being annihilated by Saray over there. let's see.
Yeah,
Perhaps
but I'm also not looking too hot either.
Oh no, yeah. Well, how does Sarai look to me? Does not looks worse.
Garbage.
Yeah, garbage, hot garbage. Probably like you could probably mistake her for an undead if you didn't know, if we hadn't seen a bunch of undead already. Like I imagine like she's like almost pale, like deathly pale. Like all of her features are sunken in. She has like really like dark circles under her eyes. Like she looks like fucking horrible.
Oh, that is not a good look.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I'll throw an axe at it. You know.
Okay. Go ahead and roll to strike with your axe.
Yeah.
You have 2 attacks. If you want to throw 2 axes, you can.
Yeah, you know what? I'm done dallying by the door over here, and it would be real nice to get out of here. So I'm just gonna take both axes and just huff one right after the other.
Okay, so both are flung through the air. Go ahead and roll to strike.
What button do I press for that?
If you go to your weapons, you go to attack, and then down there you'll see the weapons, and then you just click on the weapon, and then at the very top you'll see that red Beyond 20 button, and just click that twice. So for, your axe, and then click that, then go over to Beyond 20 and click that twice.
Is that the right one?
That certainly is. And at 22
Okay.
strikes, you do 3 points of damage as an axe embeds itself into the creature. And the second attack, it's another hit, and you do a lot of damage.
Woo!
So these 2 axes fly into the creature, and there's another shriek, and you see all the tentacles go limp, and there's a black froth that starts shooting across the corpse and the tentacles, and a shrieking as you see the corpse that's on the inside of this slowly begin to dissolve. And the black of the fountain dissipates, and the water becomes crystal clear. As June, you feel that pressure that you had felt push back dissipate. You immediately throw yourself forward. I will give you, and you alone, a single wisdom saving throw to attempt to finish your work before the creature completely dissolves. I will be clear about this. This creature is dissolving in front of you. This roll is very important if you wish to complete this in a peaceful way.